Fields of Mistria is a new, cute, and cozy farming sim. The graphics are amazing and very pleasing to the eyes. This game offers a variety of features including farming, mining, crafting, fishing, cooking, decorating, magic, and more. And so I decided to create a 100-day video of Fields of Mistria. So let's begin. For the character customization, I customize my character like this. I am a Rufy, and my farm will be called the Farm Peace. I came to Mistria because there was a post in the capital saying they needed a capable adventurer. And I met this guy, Baylor, which would show me the way to the farm. And after reaching the farm, Baylor introduced me to Aland, which was one of the persons responsible for posting the quest of looking for a capable adventurer. And here he introduced me to his sister, Adeline, or Adeline. I'm not sure I'm pronouncing this right. After she was done tidying the room, I told her how cozy it was. Also, Adeline gave me some vegetable soup to munch on if ever I was hungry. After all the greetings and their warm welcomes, it was now time for them to leave. And we do need our much needed rest, so it was time for us to go to bed as well. And tomorrow officially starts our day one in the farm piece. Alright, so day one begins. After heading out, I was greeted by Celine. She welcomed me, her new neighbor, and also gave me some worn hoe as well as some tulip seeds in order to start my farming journey. Then came along Hayden. He also welcomed me and gave me a watering can as well as some turnip seeds. Afterwards, they made their way to their respective homes. Anyhow, I started cleaning up the area where I can plant the seeds that I've been given with. So I hoed the land, planted the seeds, and watered them. I then headed straight to town because I needed to meet with Adeline. And look, I found myself some dandelion. So if you notice that there's a check mark just below the name dandelion and a house icon, it means that I still haven't submitted it to the museum. Very convenient. Case I met with Adeline and she told me about town ranks and renown level. So the higher the town rank, the more the popularity and the support from the capital is given. And because of the recent earthquake that Mistria was suffering from, the renown level went down. So she introduced me to this request board where I can get available quests, and each quest I have completed would increase the renown level for the town. So for my very first quest, I needed to introduce myself to all the people in this village. My introverted butt went out and talked to a lot of people just to complete the quest. Here we have Holt and Nora. They both run the general store. Here we have Reina taking a break from Valorant. And her family owns this place called the Sleeping Dragons Inn. And here we have Josephine, the mother of Reina. And the three children's here. This one is Maple. We have Adele here. And lastly, this bug fanatic, Luck. I also met Hemlock here, the husband of Josephine and father of Reina, who owns the Sleeping Dragon Inn. We have Rice here, who owns the carpenter shop. Valen, the doctor of this village. Juniper, who runs a bathhouse in Mistria. A very cute dogo named Doozy. The bad boy March, who runs the blacksmith. Along with Ulrich right here, his older brother. Then we have Errol here, who handles the museum. I frequent this place from time to time, just dropping by anything I have on hand that hasn't been donated to the museum yet. And here we have Terithia, who runs a little tackle shop at the beach. Layden here, who is the uncle of Rais. And Elsie, the aunt of Adeline and Aland. Completing the quest, I then went to Adeline to get my reward, which would be potato seeds and some gold. I then went to the general store to buy some seeds with the amount of money I have, and then proceeded to plant the seeds that I recently got. And after all of these are planted, I'll just head to bed since I don't really have the tools yet to chop some wood or pick some rocks. Finishing my quest, I reach level 1 wood rank in our renown. And that basically concludes day 1. The next day, Alan paid me a visit. He said that there was something strange about this tree, and I helped him chop it down. And here we saw a broken statue of a dragon. I then fixed up the dragon, and he seems very happy, and he said I could keep the axe. Then, checking my mailbox, I got a letter that I should stop by the museum, so sure. Also, now that we have an axe, I can start collecting wood now. While on my way to the museum, I forage a bunch of berries and any random stuff I encounter. However, since this was still a low-level axe, I can't really chop down those big stumps. My daily routine includes me checking out the request board if there's any new quests. Also, here's the reward we got from turning into level 1. And yes, there were 2 new quests. One for a trail mix food to give, and another one was the quest involves just talking to Ulrich. So yeah, I'd love to get some free pickaxe. With the gold I received as a reward, I bought myself a couple of seeds to add in my farm. Then it was time to go to the museum. Anyways, we talked to Errol and he taught me how the museum works. Basically, I just need to interact with this book in the front desk and donate all the stuff I haven't donated yet. It will show me the progress and the items that I would need to complete a certain thing here in the museum. Also, remember what I said about the little checkbox? You can see it here in the tutorial. And so I donated 2 items to the museum. One was for the spring forage set and another one was a tulip that was needed for the spring flowers. I then went and spoke with Ulrich. It's one of our quests. He gave us a worn pickaxe. For his request, he just wanted us to look out for March, his brother. Okay, so now with the axe and the pickaxe, I can finally clear out my farming area. So I planted all the seeds I have and watered them and started cleaning out my farm. And I just noticed, but the soup that Adeline gave us at the start was actually worth 260 gold. So I placed it in the shipping bin. That's free 260 gold. That's a lot of seeds. And with nothing else to do for the day, I slept. And in my slumber, Caldarus, the dragon statue, talked to us. He wanted to thank us for fixing his shrine. He told me about something called a magical essence. And basically, essence is gained by doing our daily tasks, like mining, planting, watering our plants, fishing, basically everything we've been doing, we can gather essence. And with the essence we've collected, we can unlock skills. It's a pretty neat system to get some skills. Anyways, we reach wood rank level 3. The next day, I got a mail from Adeline to help out in fixing the bridge. So before we head out on an adventure, I watered the plants first. I gathered a bunch of forageable goods while on my way to the bridge. I feel like I can get rich just going around the place and looting some forageable goods. Anyways, I reached the area where they needed fixing on the bridge. They talk about how hard it would be to get the materials, and it sounds like it was my time to shine. I can gather a lot of wood and stone because my farm is full of them actually. So I'll be needing like 60 stones and 60 wood. I'll be collecting them in the span of a few days, I guess. As long as my energy permits it, I'll keep collecting some wood and stone. Anyhow, after the talk at the bridge, I then went back to the museum and donated a bunch of stuff I haven't donated yet. So this is gonna be a frequent occurrence, so I won't be mentioning this that much. Probably one of the problems I need to resolve right now is my inventory space. I only have 10. Maybe I should leave like my sword or other stuff that I don't need on this adventure around the land. I then found myself in an area called the excavation site. And by digging one of the thing that looks like it's plumping out, I got myself a clay. There were so many goodies in the area, I just don't have the inventory space. But one thing I learned is that items don't despawn. So you can just throw them on the ground, but make sure you loot them or harvest them or else they won't reset. So yeah, that's what I did. So for items I can't bring, I'll just leave it on the ground and maybe come back afterwards. I then bought myself some strawberry seeds at the general store. Planted it. And for the remainder of my energy, I cleaned out my farm. Slashing with a sword doesn't really drain my energy. So the only way we can spend this excess energy in our body is to chop wood or mine some stones. After all, we needed 60 of each. After spending all my energy, I then talked to the dragon statue and he told me about the essence again. I then unlocked my very first kill. It's called the prepared picker, and what it does is there's a chance I can get seed from getting a forageable goods if ever it can grow. And that was it for day 3. I reached level 4, renowned level. Let's go. It was raining on day 4 and I'm so happy I didn't need to water my plants. So I just immediately headed over to the request board to see if there was something new to do. And yes, there were 2 new quests. One was to talk to Look, and another was to gather 10 wood and 10 stones. So then I talked to Luck about his love for insects and he gave me his old net. Now with this thing we can catch some bugs that are just flying around. With nothing else to do, I spent all my energy chopping wood and gathering stones. The inn actually provides free soup every day and it gives like 20 energy. This is super helpful when starting out because we don't really have any source of food, because I just sold mine for 260 gold. Alright, here we have our first insect using our bug net, a pink grasshopper. Let's go. I then went to the carpenter shop to turn in the request for the materials by Reyes, and he rewarded me with 80 gold coins. And with extra energy I got, I continued grinding and cleaning my farm. And after a hard day's work, I slept, reaching town rank 6. The next day, I got mail from Reina saying that I should go to the Sleeping Dragon Inn on Friday nights as they have events there where everyone gathers. Then checking on my farm, my turnip seeds were ready for harvest. Let's go, we can sell this for money. But I'll be keeping one for the museum. And look, I found a caterpillar. On the request board, I got a quest from Juniper needing some lilac and moral mushroom from Valen. Alright, sure, I'll give it to them once I've foraged some, I guess. Then donated the recent bugs I've caught and also one of my turnips. Then checked out the excavation site if there was anything new and I got myself a sod. I then saw this weird looking bush. It wasn't actually a bush, but a nettle. Oh, cool. And donating the items I've collected so far, I was almost done with a spring forage set. I then found this thing called a diving spot. I dove and got myself a smallmouth bass. Nice. I was very happy to find free fish in the water. My goal right now was to collect about 1,000 gold coins so I can buy the inventory expansion from the general store, which would be 1,000 coins. I then found some floating looking plants in the water. They were actually water chestnuts. I needed this to make the trail mix. So it's water chestnuts plus some raspberries. We can make the trail mix. I then went to the inn, grab a soup, and checking out the inn, it seems like everyone was already here having a good time. Anyways, I went to the kitchen because my goal was to make the trail mix. I wanted to finish the quest so we can further increase the town level. I then turned in the trail mix to Josephine and she gave me 100 gold coins. We're closer to our goal of getting that bag. Let's go. After that was done, I returned to my farm, spoke to the dragon statue, and unlocked a skill called A Day Well Spent. Basically, what it does, if I spend all my stamina in a day, I would get extra stamina the next day. And for the remainder of my energy, chopping wood and mining rocks continued the activity I go for. I then sold a bunch of stuff I didn't need for extra gold and slept. We then reached level 8 in our town ranking. Day 6, I got a letter from Nora giving me a free sliced turnip recipe, and then a letter from Ayland regarding reopening the mines. For the request board, we have a quest for gathering blueberries. I don't know where to get some, but once you accept our request, there's really no time limit. I'm just happy to get another request. Anyhow, and finally, we have our bag upgrade. With this, we got an additional 10 inventory slots. Let's go! I would honestly love to have a third upgrade bag if ever there is. Anyways, I reached the museum and Aelin and Errol discuss about opening the mines. Errol was hesitant because it wasn't safe because of the recent earthquake, but Aelin wanted to convince him to open it up. So Errol suggested if we ever reach the stone rank, then he wouldn't mind opening up the mines. So okay, before we actually enter the mines, we need to reach stone rank. Will be renowned level 10, I believe. And yeah, I don't mind. We're almost there. It's honestly so nice to have this extra 10 inventory slots. Anyways, after reaching the excavation site, I got this mysterious artifact. And in order for me to find out what it is, I just needed to identify it, and I got myself an ancient gold coin. Another thing we can donate to the museum. Let's go. And after running around town, I finally found myself the lilac I needed for Juniper's quest. I then visited the tackle shop, and it seems there was a fishing rod here for 500 gold. So this is gonna be my new goal, the fishing rod. So we can start fishing the fishes that we keep seeing but can't really catch them. Also, at the beach, there were also some forageable goods that I can sell. So of course, I'll be checking this place out from time to time so we can sell something and get some money. I continued spending the day mining for some stones. And once I reached 60 stones and 60 wood, it was now time to conclude the day. It was 10 p.m. and I should really rush home, but I decided to spend all of my remaining energy first. Now with the energy spent, it's time to sleep. Day 7, another rainy day, and a lot of our crops were ready for harvest. Very happy for the potato, since I can donate one to the museum, and as for the other two, I would just sell them on the shipping bin. On the request board, I have a quest to collect trout for Terithia. And because I don't really have a fishing rod right now, I don't think I can complete that yet. For now, I went to Juniper to deliver the lilac I've collected. Seems it was an ingredient for her potion and she wanted me to drink it, and immediately I felt the effect. My health and my stamina drained to 1. She threw me in the bath, I guess, and I regenerated all my health and stamina. For the reward of this quest, she said that the next 5 visit on the bathroom would be free. So now we have a 5 free pass to fully heal our stamina and health. Let's go. I then donated some stuff to the museum and I finished the spring flower set. I was rewarded with a farmer's cap and a treasure chest containing lots of gold and a food that was like worth 280 gold. So, of course I'm not eating this. I'm just gonna ship this to the shipping bin. Totally did not notice, but I actually had 530 gold. So that means we can now buy the fishing rod. So how fishing works is you basically just throw your lure near a fish and they will try to nibble and bite it. And once an exclamation point pops up, you can now get the fish. It uses a lot of stamina though. I'm not sure if it's 10 or 15. I just know it's a lot. And with all the quests done today, I reached level 9. Day 8, I decided to move my chest outside so I have an easier time storing and getting stuff. Because I usually store my watering can after I'm done watering my plant. So it takes a lot of time going in and out of the house, so it's way better if I just leave my chest outside. Juniper then gave me something called a weather crystal ball. And what it does is it tells us what the weather will be tomorrow. I spent most of my energy just fishing some random river fishes in my farm. Also cleaned up the area near the water so I won't have a hard time going through the areas with water. Donated some new items I've got as usual to the museum. Gave a trout to Terithia to finish a quest. Also finished Landon's quest for 10 wood. And lastly, turned in my quest to Adeline for the 60 stone and wood. And with this, the gang had fixed the bridge. And with the extra gold I have on hand, I decided to buy 2 trees, a lemon sapling and a cherry sapling. I just planted the both of them at a convenient spot in my farm, beside the house. And with all those quests done, we finally reach stone rank. And now we can access the mines. Oh wow, we actually reached level 11. Let's go. I then got a letter from Adeline thanking us for our help. She gave us a copper ingot inside the letter. Also, Errol told us to meet at the mine's entrance west of town. So yeah, we can see the opening of the mines now. I made my way to the mine. And because of our talk with Aelin and Errol, he finally opened the mines. How this works is similar to Stardew. For now, the elevator is broken and we need to go to the mines using a ladder first. And every 5 levels, we can unlock the area and can instantly travel there using the elevator. And alright, there was another dragon statue as well inside this mine. This statue can level up our mining and combat skills. That's pretty neat. Alright, before I actually went down, I decided to throw a lot of stuff I don't need because maybe we will be needing the inventory space. And down here, I found myself some copper ores. Yes, I'll be needing a lot of these as I need like 10 ores in order to make 1 bar. And we need like 4 bars in order to make 1 copper tool. So we'll be needing to grind this place for a while. This place was also filled with monsters. So this one is a lantern enemy. I don't really know how to fight this guy, but once he discharges his electricity, he is basically helpless. Also, I'm pretty lucky to get like a treasure chest just on the 2nd floor. I'm not really sure if this is lucky or if everyone also gets this. Anyways, this thing dropped a lot of copper ores. I also fought some slimes down here. These guys are pretty easy to avoid. You can just wait for them to attack and then attack them back once they miss. There were also some unique fishes inside these caves, so I will not miss out on trying to fish any type of fish I can find in the cave. I eventually reached the 5th floor of the mines and decided to go home for now as it was getting late. I made sure to spend all my energy first before I slept so we can have that extra stamina or energy the next day. I reached level 12 in the town rank and got myself a free bench. The next day, I got a letter from Adeline that she wants me to visit her to talk about the emergency supply reserves. Also, Reyes wanted to give me a crafting overview and I should bring him about 10 pieces of wood. Sure. I got a bit distracted though because I saw a school of fishes and this is a really fast way of getting fish since this thing doesn't disappear not until like maybe 3 times fishing or more. I then went to the manor, talked to Adeline. She wanted me to ship out about 10 crops to supply our food rations and she gave me 10 pieces of potato seeds, so I'm very happy to do the farming for her. I get to keep the money after all. And so I got working on planting all the potato seeds I've been giving. I also bought a few from the store just to match it evenly into 3 pieces each. Afterwards, I cleaned the farm a bit before sleeping. On day 11, I went to Reyes and gave him the 10 pieces of wood he wanted. And both Reyes and Layden showed me the way on how to craft a fence. They were really good at giving copium, so I proceeded to craft some more. Afterwards, I turned in a bunch of other requests from the villagers, like March here wanted some copper ore, so I gave him some. He also taught me how to do the basics of blacksmithing, and I really appreciate him for that. He then gave me a copper ingot. I was honestly missing one to craft another tool, so this is really great. I wanted to craft myself a watering can in order for me to water my plants easier. But I was lacking in crafting level, not the ingot, so I really need to mine some copper ores and smelt them to bars. I also completed Hayden's request and he gave me some milk. Calcium, let's go! I then resumed my daily activities of donating to the museum, foraging some random goods, and fishing. I also frequent the excavation site and got myself an artifact I didn't have yet, an ancient horn circlet. So of course, another collection to the museum. Afterwards, I just cleaned out the farm near the rivers so I can have an easier time going around and looking for fish. And this fish is pretty big. Just look at this thing. I got myself a swordfish. Oh, it's a paddlefish. And the next day, I donated the paddlefish we recently got before I headed up to the mines. And my goal right now was just to dive deeper and also get a bunch of copper ores so we can have copper equipments. I got a bunch of new goodies from the mines, so of course I donated them to the museum before I conclude the day. Also, I got about 26 pieces of copper ores. Not really enough to make a tool. I need like 4 ingots, and in order to make 4 ingots, I'll be needing about 36 pieces of ores. Also, after sleeping, Caldaros spoke to me in my dreams again, and this time he granted me a spell. It's called a full restore spell, and it basically heals both my mana and energy. I mean my HP and energy to full, and only requires 1 mana. And as for how mana regenerates in the game, it's basically divided into 4 parts before completing into a full circle. So each day I will recover like 1/4 of this circle. So it takes a while for mana to recover. But hey, we got magic. And so the next day, after depleting all my energy, I tried the full restore ability. And as you can see, my green bar filled to max instantly. Amazing. I was pretty thankful for the full restore ability because now I can clean more of the farm. Next up, I visited the Saturday market. I met a few new NPC here. Darcy, who sells like baked goods or other food. Vera, who sells various new hairstyles for you to try on. Lois, who sells clothes and hats. Lastly, Mary, who sells furnitures. Anyways, my agenda for the day was to make the copper watering can to have an easier time in watering our crops. Upon arriving home, it was already really late, but I totally forgot I bought like 5 strawberry seeds. So I hurriedly planted them, and with my new watering can, look how good it is. On day 14, Celine paid me a visit. She wanted to tell me about the spring festival. So starting from today up till the 17th, we'll be able to get something called Breath of Spring in any activities we do, be it fishing, mining, or just cutting grass. We'll have a chance to get that, and the person who has the most will get some reward from the town. I really love my watering can upgrade, and I can't wait to see what iron watering can does, or even the silver one. Anyways, I continued cleaning the farm, and here we have the Breath of Spring. There's actually a trick to fishing. Usually, it costs like a whole lot of stamina, but the trick is if ever you reach like 0 stamina, you can just eat like 1 piece of berry, and then you can continue fishing indefinitely as long as you have that 1 stamina. It's a really good way to save energy. So all I did first is exhaust my energy by doing something else aside from fishing, and now that I don't have any more stamina, I just eat a piece of berry and started fishing. I got really lucky with one of the fish in the pond. I got myself a copper treasure box. For what was inside, I got 100 gold coin and this thing called a mushroom rice. Of course, I'm not eating it because it's been in the sea for a very long time. I'm gonna be selling it for the 260 gold it has. And just look at all the fish I caught within the day by just using the berries. The next day, I completed a bunch of requests that I've been holding off for a while now. I was just too busy doing stuff in the farm and fishing. But I always made sure to stop by the request board every day so I can pick up the quests for the day. And I think the very best time to finish off the quests or the requests is every Friday, because everyone gathers at the Sleeping Dragon's Inn, and that would make it very convenient to just give everyone their request. Anyways, after all that was done, I headed to the mines because I wanted more copper ores. I got lucky and found myself a treasure chest down here containing some copper ores. And after reaching floor 15th, I then exit the mines and went to the excavation site to see what I can get from here. Nothing good. I then donated a bunch of stuff I've gathered so far, and I finished the upper mines forage set and got myself some rewards. Fish stew recipe. Let's go. On day 16, my potatoes were ready for harvest. That means my pockets will be full of gold. I then went to town and turned in some of my quests. Also, crafted myself a copper sword from all the ores I've collected, so we'll have an easier time killing the monsters in the mine. And since we still have like 12 more days in spring, I decided to buy a bunch of cabbage seed I then went home and watered my cabbage seeds. The next day, Celine paid me a visit again. She wanted to get all the bread of spring that I have collected so far because today is the spring festival. Upon arriving to town, everyone gathered at the center and Josephine announced who the winner is, the one who got the most breath of spring. And the third place goes to Errol. And for the second place, sadly, it's us. We didn't get first. I guess I didn't gather enough. And finally, the first place, Celine. I still get a reward though because I came in second. For the reward, I got 2 flower furniture, the bread of spring basket, and bread of spring planter. This is a reminder that we got second. Yeah. Also, now that I had a copper pickaxe, I then went to the right side of the map, broke a boulder, and now I had access to this area I couldn't before. There was a clear water fountain right here, which I drank and got myself free 20 energy. Let's go. Aside from that, there was also a cherry tree right here. Maybe I shouldn't chop this down, but I was thinking it might just grow back after given a few time, I guess. And this was the only area I can pass through right now because there were a bunch of vines covering the stairs and I can't proceed any further. The lower right side of this map, there was another boulder and I smashed it as well with my copper pickaxe. And here I found a well. And this well, you can either donate 100 or 500 gold coins. And the well will give you a random item. And for this one, I got myself a cow halo. And upon unlocking the recipe, look at this. It's like a very good cow, I guess. So cute. The next day, it was raining, so I didn't need to water my plants. Also, a lot of my strawberries were ready for harvest, which means we're gonna get a lot of gold from this. Each strawberry was 125 gold each. I then donated a cherry I got from the tree yesterday and got myself a chest and some new boots to wear. I got a bunch of gold and some snow pea seeds. We can't really use this yet, not until winter. I then spent the rest of the day in the mines, collecting even more copper ore. I got lucky here because I was sent to a treasure room on floor 16, and it was a golden chest filled with a lot of coppers plus some rubies. I got lucky again on floor 19 and received another treasure chest, and finally reached floor 20. And it seems like someone was trying to talk to us, calling us the hero, and this was the water seal. And yeah, because we couldn't really understand what was inscribed here, I just rubbed off a piece of paper so we can give it to Ayland. For the treasure reward, I got 6 copper ore and a miner's helmet. I then talked to Ayland regarding the water tablet. And then we went to his office and he said that translating this is beyond his capabilities and we would need someone who knows how to read witch speak. And the only person we know that is like a witch is Juniper right here. And yes, she will help us regarding this. And look at this cute doggo approaching us like this. So cute. Anyways, she translated it for us. Basically, what it said is so we need to give proof that we have the desire to unite the lands. So we need like 4 items. One is a ruby, one is a fish of stone, a moth, then a brown mushroom. Afterwards, the seal will be undone and we can proceed. Everything that was written here can be obtained in the mines. Now that all that shenanigans was over, I crafted myself a copper shovel. I needed this because there was a request by Celine for a copper shovel and I'll be giving her this shovel. I also made myself an axe. We are finally upgrading from the worn axe we've been using so far. I then bought more cabbage seeds and planted them. No need to water because it was raining and I'm very thankful for rain. The next day I talked to Adeline and told her that I already shipped out about more than 10 crops and she rewarded me with 10 pieces of turnip seeds. Gave Valor the copper ingot he requested, planted the recently turnip seeds we have received, visited Hayden's shop for a bit, just curious how much animals were worth and what he was selling. So for chickens, they are 1,000 gold each, and for cows, they were 2,000 gold each. Now we can't really buy or adopt any because we don't have any barn or coop. Afterwards, I spent the remaining time of the day in the mines. I was looking for the things I needed to put in the altar, the moth, the rockfish. And as for the other two, like the ruby and the mushroom, I already have it, and I donated everything. And upon bringing the seal, a ghost of the priestess thanked me. She was trying hard to tell us something. She just mentioned like Dragon Princess, meet below. So I guess she's something we should keep diving below the mines. She also gave me this heart crystal right here. And upon consuming it, it increased my health to 120. Let's go. We're now at floor 21, and this place is very different from the last floors. Now there's like corals and also higher tiered monsters, I guess. Blue slimes, blue rocks. They hit pretty hard and they're more tanky than the previous versions. So I guess we'll be needing to upgrade our gears as well to have an easier time in this mine. I also found myself some iron ores down here. But because it's already late, it's almost 10 p.m., I needed to go home now. Upon arriving at the farm though, Caldarus, the dragon statue, then spoke to me. He will grant me the Summon Rain ability. We now have a new magic. We were granted this power because we broke the water seal, and some of his powers have returned. Not only that, his memories also returned. He mentioned about there are 5 seals, so we got 1 out of 5. Alright, cool. Maybe the One Piece is down there. Also, after sleeping, I reached level 20 in our renown level, and also our town rank now is copper. Let's go. Let me show you guys the power of the rain. Pretty cool, huh? But it takes like 1 mana circle. It's definitely worth it if we had a lot of plants that needed to be watered. But I still prefer the full restore for now. My agenda for today was just to clean up the farm, use the power of full restore, and repeat the process. But now we don't have any mana anymore, and we need like 8 days in order to fully recover. But it was definitely worth it though, because I cleaned out a lot of the farm area. I then received a letter from Adeline congratulating us that we have reached the copper rank. She included a strawberry shortcake on this letter. And of course, I'm not eating this. I'm just gonna sell this because 520 gold. Oh my god. Money, money, money. I then went to the museum and donated a fish. And now I have finished the spring river fish. I got a new hat plus a treasure chest. It gave me some gold and 2 cranberry seeds. I can't really use this because it's only planted on fall. I then spent the rest of the day in the mines. I was looking for a few quest items like the shadow flower right here that Celine was requesting. Lucky again and was sent to a treasure room. And it was full of copper. And the crazy thing is, the next room was also another treasure room. Crazy. Very lucky. I then went on a little night fishing before sleeping to bed. Next day, I continued cleaning my farm. I just wanted to deplete all my energy so I can go fishing with my berries. The next day, I got a quest from Adeline to meet her in her office. It's about repairing the mill. Finally, we have a way to make flour. It's not like I have any wheat right now, so I don't think it's gonna be useful. But it'll be useful once we have some seeds for wheat. And as far as I know, usually wheats are grown in the fall. So there's still like a long way to go before we can actually make a lot of flour. So since there's only 6 more days left of spring, I bought myself 30 turnip seeds, since they only require like 4 days to fully grow. I then finished the dig site material set in the museum, giving me a new hat plus a treasure chest. It gave me some gold and a jam sandwich that's worth like more than 200 gold coins. Right now, I had a goal of collecting all the spring fishes, and I only have like 6 more days left. I don't really fish that much at the pond and at the beach. So I really need to frequent these places in order to complete the museum. The fishes here was pretty rare. I rarely even get a new one that I can donate to the museum. Maybe because I just don't frequent this place. I then planted some of the turnip seeds I bought before calling it a day. I don't really have any shovel right now to expand the farm, so I'll just wait for my other crops to fully grow and I can plant the remainder of the turnip seeds. The next day, some of my crops were already fully matured, so now I can plant the remaining 10 seeds I have. I'm pretty happy that I have the exact amount of seeds I needed to fill the farm. And for today's agenda, fishing at the beach. I then went to the blacksmith shop and bought myself an iron watering can. I just wanted my farming life to be easier. So I used the money I saved up to buy convenience. And it was high time I decorated a bit in the farm and made myself 40 pieces of wooden fence. Upon checking on the carpenter shop, I noticed that I can actually buy recipes for a barn and a coop. So I bought the both of them. I also bought myself a kitchen. Now I can cook some food at home. So if ever we still have like extra time remaining before the day ends, I can use up the time to cook some food. The next day, I woke up to a lot of food on the ground because my inventory was full when I was cooking the food. I'll pick it up later. For now, I'll handle my farm. It was strawberry harvest day. And also, look at my iron watering can. Look at the amount of space it waters now. This saves so much time. The only thing left to do now was change the structure of the farm so it's more convenient watering this. And for that, I would need a shovel. I added some fences on my little farm area and it looks pretty decent now, doesn't it? Once summer starts, I'm gonna organize this farm. Like one area for a specific plant only, not like this, very random. Anyhow, I cleaned out an area. This area, I'm planning to put the barn and the coop. It still needed some wood and stone before it finishes. So, since I have a lot of them from cleaning my farm, I donated most of it and now I finished the barn. But it's not like we have the money to buy some cows at the moment. I just wanted to set this up so if ever we have extra money, we can start buying chickens and cows. Next up, I went to Adeline's office. It was finally time to discuss how we're gonna repair the mill. TLDR, we needed like 150 wood, 200 stone, 2 copper ingots, and 1,000 gold in order to fix the mill. So sure, I was honestly up to the task. I needed the mill as well to process future goods. And for the rest of the day, I just focused on fishing at the pond or at the beach. The next day, I can smell the money even with the rain because my cabbage was ready for harvest. These cabbages are worth a lot and I can expect a lot of gold this coming summer. I wanted to cook this cabbage into food first. Maybe it would sell more. But I totally did not notice that making a salad required a level 2 kitchen. And my kitchen at home is only level 1. I then went to the museum, donated a few items, and finished the spring forage set, rewarding me with 2 new recipes for the beds I also gained, as well as a treasure chest. I was pretty happy that this chest contained some copper ingots. Now I can make even more tools with the copper ingots I received. Still haven't crafted any armor yet. I'm basically at 0 defense right now. After all those shenanigans, I spent the rest of the day at the mines, exploring the new areas. I really just wanted some iron ores in order to make an iron pickaxe, as well as an iron sword because my damage is so bad right now. I couldn't really explore any deeper as I was dying. The monsters here were really strong. I had to run away for my life. And so I just spent the rest of the day fishing. It was worth it though because I fished up a golden treasure chest. It rewarded me with a lot of gold coins and a recipe for a sesame tuna bowl. And because of that, I felt secured that I had a lot of cabbages that was ready for harvest. I bought 3 chicks at Hayden's shop. We have our brown hen, Charlotte, our male rooster, Gustavo, and our white hen, Apple. Then feed them some raspberries and they rewarded me with a shiny bead. Also, I did not forget to pet them afterwards. Petting them would also give us some ranching experience as well as our closeness to the animal. Alright, day 26. A bunch of our turnips were ready for harvest. More money for us. I then crafted myself a copper armor, the only armor I have at the moment. Starting armor basically has zero defense, so it's useless. I then went to the mines and planned to spend the rest of the day here unless the monster deals too much damage on me that I can't spend any more time down here. Day 27. Most of my crops are already ready for harvest, and I don't think my strawberries will be able to produce anything anymore by tomorrow. I would probably just sell them all because I needed the money to prepare for summer. I went to the blacksmith to convert all my ores to ingots, and I made myself the iron hoe, so we have an easier time hoeing the land. Afterwards, I basically just did so many random stuff for this day, I swear. I just fish if ever I see fish in the river. Chopped a bunch of wood just to use up my energy. Mainly, my goal was to try and get as many pond fish as I can since it's still spring. I honestly just give up on collecting all of the spring fishes because I'm still far from a reality. I swear, I still need like four pond fish and about 3 more beach spring fish. So I guess I'll just do it once spring comes back again. I didn't give up though. I continued fishing at the beach in hopes to get like a new fish, like this one, a lobster. I then donated a bunch of stuff at the museum, and I finished the upper mines insect set. And as you can see, I'm still lacking like 3 more of the pond fishes. I don't really want to do it on day 28 as I dedicate that day into remodeling my farm so it's more efficient and watering them, as well as trying to make it look good. I sold a lot of stuff because I know I'll be needing a lot of money to purchase a lot of seeds. Alright, the final day of spring. I had to run towards the blacksmith because I totally forgot that I don't have any shovel, so I just bought one. I then worked on my farm. My plan was to have like 6 by 3 areas with a total of 6 of them. Anyways, this was the final product. So I can basically plant 6 different types of crops with 18 pieces each. I then turned in a few quests that I have accepted, crafted even more fences because I was lacking a bit, and crafted an additional chest. I'll be storing only equipments here. I finished fencing off my garden and also my barn and coop. I then bought my fourth chicken and named him Oliver. Afterwards, for the remainder of my time, I cooked a bunch of my produce before I sold them, so I can get that juicy cooking experience. Hopefully, with all these items on sale, I would have enough gold to buy like a lot of seeds that I need. And by the end of spring, we have reached level 24 copper. On the first day of summer, I bought 18 pieces of seed of different types. I didn't really account that tomato and corn would be expensive. I didn't know. So for the rest of the crop, I just decided to plant some daisy and catmints for the remainder of my money. I made sure to buy the pear and the peach trees because they take very long to grow. Afterwards, I went home and planted my trees just beside my previous trees. I also started working on my garden and planted everything I had. Sadly, we were lacking because we lacked the gold. Anyways, it wasn't really hard to maintain this farm because we have our iron watering can. I can't wait to have the silver watering can. Pretty sure it'd be more amazing than this. And for the rest of the day after working on my farm, I just explored the area to gather new items. Actually didn't need to plant a peach tree because I found one just looking around. But it's still nice to have a tree at home that consistently makes peaches on summer. Assuming that this was Stardew Valley, I believe the next tier of watering can could cover the entire area I set up here. So I can't wait to have that watering can. And now that I have enough materials and money, I donated them for the mill. I then told Adeline that I was done with the donations. And look at Reyes go, fixing the entire thing by himself. And it looks good as new. Dang. I then checked out what I can craft from the mill. It was mostly animal feed. I couldn't craft the thing I wanted the most, flour, because we don't have wheat. So for now, I just explored the area and foraged a bunch of new goodies I can donate to the museum. It's just day 2 on summer and I already completed the summer flower set. Let's go. I got a cool skill from the dragon statue that whenever I water a plant, there's a chance that they will drop me a seed. So that's very convenient, especially because seeds are pretty expensive, especially the tomato seeds and the corn seeds. Also, upon checking up my coop, it seems that my chicks are now chickens and hens. They now produce eggs and sometimes the roosters drop their feathers. So nice, we have another source of income for the farm. And for the rest of the day, I dedicated it to the farm to collect a lot of iron ores. I wanted an iron pickaxe and an iron sword. There were actually whirlpools in this cave and it took me to a treasure room. I'm very happy to discover this because we can get extra iron from here. It also drops some food recipe. It's probably from a skill I unlocked. I managed to reach floor 32 before calling it a day. And I collected a total of 77 iron ores. Let's go. Before going home, I stopped by the museum and donated a bunch of items and completed the Tide Caverns forage set. I also crafted myself 8 iron ingots and went home because it's already very late and I don't want to pass out. I'll craft the sword and the pickaxe tomorrow. Because it was raining today, I saved so much time from watering plants. Since I'll be upgrading my weapon and pickaxe, I dropped by my old ones to the shipping bin. I then went to the blacksmith and crafted both the sword and pickaxe. And continued roaming the mines, and this time with my new powerful sword and a better pickaxe. Everything got way easier now. Because of my sword, the damage is pretty high and I can 2-shot jump attack the slimes. And honestly, this made diving way easier. I'm still in danger though because I don't really have any armor. The only armor I have was the copper armor I made earlier. I got really lucky though because a treasure chest I found on the 34th floor contained a piece of armor. It had about 3 defense and I was so happy to get this for free. The next day, I got a mail from Adeline. It was for a new project that Ayland and Adeline came up with. So sure, I'll be meeting them near the manor. Also, both my daisies and my cucumbers were already ready for harvest. So I needed to restock myself with some seed again so I can plant some more. For now, I decided to plant some watermelons and cosmos. Once I'm done planting these and submitting it to the museum, I'll be spending most of my money on corn and tomatoes. Both of them don't need to be replanted. They'll just regrow if I keep watering them. I then made myself an iron axe and an iron fishing rod. Then I went to see Adeline and Ayland. They wanted me to help with the beautification of Mistria. I said sure, I'll gladly help them. And as we kept working to beautify Mistria, a lot of people kept joining us along the way. So the job became easier and easier until we finally fixed a stair towards the summit. As for the reward for all our efforts, this wonderful view at the summit. For the rest of the day, I spent it on fishing and foraging. I'll be prioritizing both the ocean and the pond now because the river fishes are way easier to get because we have easy access to the river fishes, both on our farm and on the way to town. On day 6, my tomatoes were already ready for harvest and they were worth 125 gold each. I'm gonna be rich. I then went to Hayden's house and he then taught me a thing or two about animals and breeding. Also about how I should feed my animals. Basically, what I've been doing was hand feeding them, earning me a bead each time I do. It's also another way of feeding the animals by letting them out of their coop or barn so they can eat the grass outside. Another way was hay and grass seed we've encountered after destroying some bushes. I then interacted with this chicken statue. You can either give it 10 beads or 100 beads, and it's another RNG game where it gives you a random item. Then went to the general store and bought 18 pieces of corn, and for the remainder of my money I bought some watermelon seeds. I'm so happy that I'm on my way to have a setup where I don't need to replant them because they will just continuously grow produce for us. Until the end of the season, that is. As for the rest of the day, it was spent on fishing. I then donated to the museum all the loot I've gathered so far, and I finished the summer river fish set. The next day, it was raining, so no need to water the plants. And also, our chili peppers and canned mints were ready, meaning more money for us tomorrow. I then planted my melon seeds and will probably go to the general store to buy even more seed because I have a whole area that doesn't have anything right now. So I bought even more melon seeds and planted them. I then explored the mine with the goal of getting to floor 40 so we can get another type of magic power. Assuming that we've reached a floor where there's another seal. And I was right. Upon reaching floor 40, another sealing tablet was found. So I got a rubbing of the tablet. I'll need to show this both to Ayland and Juniper so we can figure out what I need to do next. But let's do that tomorrow. The next day, I totally forgot about it and went fishing at the beach. Donated items to the museum and finished the summer insect set, rewarding me with a pants plus a treasure chest. And since I had extra iron ingots, I made myself a helmet. Also, a leg plate. And now I have a total armor of 13. This should increase my survivability in the mines. I then talked to Adeline and the gang at the general store. They were hoping to upgrade the general store. And holy, the amount of things they need in order to upgrade this general store. Oh my god, I'm poor. I believe I have enough stone and wood, but I don't really have any more copper ingots and iron ingots. So I'll need to go to the mines again. For now, I just decided to spend most of my remaining energy in my base chopping some wood. Today, I went to the mines because I wanted to gather some copper ores. I wanted to make the ingots in order to upgrade the general store as soon as I can. I managed to gather about 53 copper ores, so I decided to continue exploring at the deeper levels and look for some iron ores. Also, after sleeping, I reached level 30, upgrading my town rank to Ruby and also earning the stamina increase potion. The next day, I got a mail from Adeline congratulating us from reaching Ruby Star. So she gave us 3 pieces of iron ingots and we needed this. I believe I should have enough materials now to upgrade the general store. I did a bunch of miscellaneous things first though, like fishing. Also bought some tomato seeds since I had an empty area in the farm. I then used the stamina potion and now our total stamina is 160. I was wrong in having enough, so to the mines I went. It was finally the day to donate a lot of items to the general store to improve it to level 2. But I had to take care of my farm first. I then dropped off all the items that I needed to donate and gave the money to Adeline. And with the help of Arias, we have improved the store. With the improvement of the store, there were new seeds available for purchase, the tea seed and the sugar cane seed. And most importantly, bag upgrade number 2. I immediately bought it and used it, and look, we now have a 3rd inventory slot. Let's go. I felt so much freedom with more inventory space. Like holy, we started with only 10, then it improved to 20, and now we have 30. I then planted the newly bought sugar cane seeds, and once some of my crops are ready for harvest, I'll plant the tea seeds. I actually couldn't wait and expanded my farm. I planted an assorted seeds in this area because, well, I got this from just watering my other plants with my perks. So whatever I had on hand, I just slapped it in here. On day 40, I just roam around Mistria and fished and foraged some goods. I also bought myself a crafting station from the carpenter shop, so I don't need to visit Mistria or the carpenter shop in order to make something. Also, my farming mastery already reached level 30. And there's this thing called living off the land. And what it basically does is there's a chance that the plant we harvest will drop a cooked item version of it. But anyways, all these level 30 perks are so good. Especially the living off the land, the one that drops food. It's crazy. I also unlocked the one that has a chance to give me some coins. Sadly though, I didn't have any plant that was ready for harvest, so I couldn't really showcase the new perks I received. So yeah, I just continued my day decorating my farm. I was hoping that maybe putting like stone paths would... I was hopeful that putting paths on my farm would disable the grass from growing here. And I think it does help somehow. Anyways, I finally remembered about the earth tablet, so I gave it to Juniper. She actually had a hard time translating it, and we needed someone else's help. We needed an expert in flora, and we just knew the right person, Celine. So with her help, we now translated the tablet, and now we just need to collect the 4 items we need in order to unlock the seal. I already have everything except for the archer fish. So I'll need to frequent the mine and try to catch an archer fish. Since it was already late, I just decided to spend the rest of the day at the pond fishing. And for some reason, I keep catching turtles 3 in a row. What? And before the day ended, I donated a bunch of stuff to the museum. I finished the summer crop set. For the pond fish, 2 more left and we'll be done. Let me demonstrate to you the perk I recently got. Look at this. I'm getting food as I harvest my crops. Look at how much it's worth. 550 gold. That's easy money. We can just sell the food. We don't need to eat it at all. Imagine if everything was ready for harvest. How many food can we get from this perk alone? For our next quest, we have Dorothea here asking us to meet at the beach so we can start discussing about the repair on the bridge. But before that, I cooked some of my corn I recently harvested. I was almost max level on my cooking. Cooked foods are really good for stamina, especially the ones with perks like this one, the restorative grilled corn. The restorative perk basically regenerates your stamina over time, so it's really good. What I usually do is just sell the normal foods and keep the ones with the restorative perk. And now that I had extra money, I decided to buy some cows for my barn. Our first female cow is Misha. Then we have Cake right here. And lastly, Mika. I don't have enough for a 4th cow, but the next one I'll buy will probably be a male cow or a bull. I googled it up. So a male cow is called a bull, said Google. I then let my animals out of their barn and coop, and I'm hoping they're happy out in the sun. I then went to the beach and we discussed about what I would need to repair the bridge. So it's not that much compared to the general store. It's just 150 stone, 300 wood, and some fiber. So doable. For the rest of the day, I spent it on fishing. Fish some beach fishes, or let's call it ocean fish. And I also spent some time fishing at the pond, which I got a giant koi. I think it's the last fish I need, and now I don't need to frequent the pond anymore because we got the final fish we needed. The next day, it was raining, and I'm very happy that I don't need to water my plants. I just want to show you guys the craziness of the perk. Look, I got a pizza. Harvesting tomatoes. It's worth 440 gold. And as I continued on, I'll get even more, like this gazpacho right here. And we still have our watermelons I haven't harvested yet. It's just a salted watermelon, but imagine the extra money we keep getting just from the perk. I swear to God, I love this perk. It's gonna make me rich. Farming is the number one way, probably, to get rich very fast in the game. Just look at the amount of food I got from harvesting everything. I feel like the total of these four would be around 2k or more. And I still haven't sold like the crops themselves. I think I did not mention this, but one of my daily routines is to hand feed my cows and chicken. Because when you hand feed them, they usually drop something called a spirit bead. I then went to the museum, donated the large koi and some other stuff. I completed the summer forage set, but actually I was lacking one more thing at both the ocean and the pond. Dang it. I then went to the mines and dropped off the items I already have for the seal. I just needed the archer fish. So I'll be spending a lot of times in the mines just trying to get an archer fish. Honestly, it was pretty rare. I tried a lot, but I keep getting like jellyfish. I had no luck for today on getting that archer fish, but we can try again tomorrow. Also, look at the amount of gold I earned. I have 16,000 gold. Oh my god, I'm rich. With our newfound riches, I bought a new cow or bull, and his name is Tiny. I also bought them some toys, like the swing for the chicken and beach volleyball for the cows. I mean, I think they enjoy pushing the ball around. It's only for display. I was hoping that maybe there are animations like they can jump to the swing or something. Upon checking Balor's wagon, I noticed that he was selling some silver ingots. So I bought 4 pieces. This was going to be a good investment to save our time because I'm gonna craft myself a watering can. And with this watering can, we can now splash water like no other. Look at this range. Anyways, it was back to the mines for me and tried to look for a archer fish. Sadly, I couldn't get one. That didn't stop me from trying again the next day. And I finally got it. Let's go! And so I went back to floor 40 and donated the archer fish and spoke with the priestess once more. She then thanked me and told me to get stronger before I proceed. And like the previous one, I got myself a heart crystal and now our total health is 140. I tried to fight the monsters down here and oh my god, they're so tanky. I needed to do like 4 jump attacks in order to defeat the slime. But finally, there's silver ores here. We can now start grinding for silver and get ourselves a full silver tools and armor set. There are also a lot of crystals here as well as some emerald ores. I have also gathered a bunch of new bugs and new plants that I can donate to the museum. But this time, I learned my lesson. I'll be keeping a bunch of these dungeon loots on a chest. So if ever we know what's the things that we need to break the 3rd seal, we have it on our storage. I then donated a lot of the new stuff we got from the cave. I then rushed home as it was already late. I did not want to pass out at all. And upon arriving at the farm, Caldara spoke to us again and taught us a new spell called Growth. Growth basically enables us to fully grow a crop within 3x3 of us. This is a very powerful spell to gain profit. It uses up 2 mana orbs though, that's the only downside. And this is what it looks like. Look at that. We have a full-grown tomato. And for the rest of the day, I just spent it on fishing and foraging goods. The next day, I was very happy to see that my cows have already grown. But I actually made a mistake here of feeding them their own milk. All the milk I've gathered from what they produce disappeared. I was planning to feed them hay. But yeah, I noticed I screwed up and they just drank their own milk. I decided to expand my farm some more since it was a good source of money. Also a good source of those purple orbs that can level up skills or gain perks. And it's really easy to manage my farm now because we have our silver watering can. All I can see in the future is a lot of gold from all the profit from planting. I then spent most of the day at the pond. I made sure not to forget that it was Friday night so I can deliver a lot of requests. Fridays and Saturdays are my choice to finish quests because everyone gathers at one area. Friday at the Sleeping Dragon Inn and Saturday at the town center because it's the Saturday market. I also delivered all the goods required to fix the bridge, and we fixed the bridge. Nice. I then rushed towards the inn and submitted a few quests. I got a total of 127 renown on a single day, and it boosted me to level 36. The next day, I then visited the new area at the beach, and there were so many fishes here. I was so happy fishing here. Sadly, I couldn't find the last remaining fish for our ocean bundle. I think I realized that what I need to look for is a giant silhouette of a fish in the water, not these medium or small sized ones. The next day, I got another mail from Adeline. She wanted me to meet with Hayden at Hayden's farm. It's regarding restocking Mistria's food reserves. And so I met with them. Rina was also here. We discussed about what she needed. It seems like the inn needed about 10 cheese and about 12 eggs. And Adeline will put up a donation box in front of the inn. And that's basically our mission. I could just buy the milk since we were filthy rich right now. But I decided to wait for my cows to produce about 20 milk and process them to cheese. And for the rest of the day, I spent it at the beach. Still hoping to find that large fish to finish our ocean fish collection. For day 50, I decided to spend my day at the mines looking for some silver ores. And this time, I made sure to fish so we don't need to grind fishes if ever we need to get some. I then donated a lot of new stuff I got from delving deeper in the mines. And with the ores I've gathered so far, I've made about 8 ingots. So I crafted myself a silver sword and a silver axe. Sadly, there were no infusions in both the sword and the axe. I'm very unlucky. And I then crafted myself an iron greaves. I had no more silver. And for this one, I got an infusion. Base HP is increased by 4. Why can't I get one for my silver stuff? I'm so sad. The next day, I made a bunch of chests. It was finally time for me to organize my loot. I basically just shoved them down in like 2 chests, one for food and one for the materials. But now it's time to organize them. Also, let me show you a new perk I got from farming. It's called the seed spreader, and look at how I spread my seed. It's so easy to farm now because of this perk plus our watering can. I then spent the rest of the day at the beach. I was looking for that giant fish, the last ocean fish we need. And I couldn't find it, but I did found an artifact at this island right here. I guess it was worth all the swimming around in the area. Basically, if an artifact you find is a question mark, it means you haven't gotten one yet. And upon diving to a diving spot, I got another one. Crazy. Nice. Got 2 new artifacts for the museum. It was harvest day again, and if you notice, I have like 38,000 gold now. It's all because of the food I randomly get from harvesting our crops. They are really worth a lot, and I swear to God, it's making me rich. And for the rest of the day, I spent it at the mines. I managed to reach floor 50 before calling it a day. I dropped by the museum before going home, and I finished the Deep Earth insect set. Let's go. The next day, I continued my adventures at the mine. I really just wanted to reach floor 60 as soon as I can. I was very curious on what other powers I can get after unlocking the 3rd seal. And I managed to reach floor 55 before calling it a day. Since there's only 2 more days left for summer, I did not bother planting any more crops. I continued watering the crops that I had. I'm not sure if they will fully grow by 28, but they still gave a bunch of essences if you water them, so it's still worth it. I then crafted a bunch of armor with the ores I've collected so far. Currently, I have the silver helmet, armor, and a belt. Sadly, I didn't get any infusion from crafting them. And for the rest of the day, I just spent exploring around Mistria for forageable goods and artifacts. I also made sure to check if I can encounter any big fishes in the ocean. but I couldn't really find one. And since it was Friday, I then gathered a lot of items to submit for the quests I have so far. Then went to the inn and completed most of my quests. I've completed about 7 quests, earning me a total of more than 280 renown. I now reach level 40 and my tower rank is now iron. Actually make that 41. And finally, the next day, I found a giant fish in the ocean. Let's go. I was so nervous that I might not catch this, because usually if you can't catch the fish, they will disappear. And I caught it. Let's go. We got the grouper, the last fish of the ocean we need for summer. Then donated it to the museum, and we have finished the summer ocean fish set. Let's go. For the last day of summer, I spent it in the mines. I wanted to reach floor 60 before the season ends, and I managed to do it. Sadly though, the priestess said I cannot proceed further yet. Not sure if it's the game or my progress in the game. So the ancient text says this is as far as I can progress for now. Okay, I guess I'll just try to complete the museum. Alright, so first day of fall. I have a lot of cleaning to do. My old plants in the farm that withered. For some reason, rocks and branches decided to spawn in my farm. It was just a day. How? Caught my very first fish for the season. It was called a lamprey. And since I already had enough milk, I made myself some cheese. I then went to the grocery store and bought a bunch of seeds. Specifically, ones that stays and just reproduce every 3 days. So we have the cranberry, wheat, rice, and onions. I also bought the other crops so we can finish the museum. I donated the cheese and told Adeline that I have finished the quest. And as thanks for our efforts, we then ate a heartful meal. The reward was 2 new hats for my chickens and my cows. It looks really cute. I then went home and planted all the seeds I recently bought. I actually expanded my farm even more because I wanted to plant everything, like 36 pieces of them. Not even sure what I was thinking. I think this is too much now. Also, I don't think my energy is enough, even if I was full, to cover everything each morning. I would need to eat food now in order to finish the job of like finishing watering everything. Just look at all these plants. Oh my god. But the profit I'll make though, it's gonna be amazing. Forgot to mention, but I actually bought 2 new trees, apple and orange. Tell me I'm not tripping, but this is aligned, right? I'm not sure. It doesn't look like it. Anyways, the best thing about having so many plants in the garden that you earn so much essence. I easily max out most of my perks in every skill because of this farming I've been doing so far in the game. Every single morning when I have the opportunity to water my plants, I gained about more than 70 essence in one go. Checking out the request board, Adeline was requesting for a silver sword. That's a pretty expensive request, but I'll gladly do it because my current sword doesn't have any infusion, and I'm hoping that when I craft a new one, I would get an infusion. Sadly, I didn't get one. Since I had a lot of extra gold, I bought myself a level 3 kitchen and an upgrade to our coop and barn into a medium-sized one. And for the rest of the day, I just spent it foraging random goods around the map, as well as fishing for new fishes. The next day, I installed my new kitchen. I then received a mail from Adeline to meet at Hayden's farm. It's an upgrade to Hayden's barn, meaning once we upgrade this, we can probably buy new animals. And after watering my plants, immediately headed over to Hayden's. We discussed about upgrading Hayden's barn, and it will require a whole bunch of items, like holy. I then went to the ocean and waited for this giant fish to come close so I can try catching it. It eventually got close and I was able to fish it. I donated most of the goods I've collected so far today, and I finished the full forage set. For the fish set, there is still 2 more left. I then went to the mines to gather a lot of stones, also some silver ores. I got very lucky and was sent to a treasure room. Just look at all these ores. Damn. The next day, I just spent it on gathering some wood, fishing in the ocean, and cleaned out my farm. Afterwards, I went to the inn and submitted a bunch of my quests. The next day, I spent it on the mines again. I just needed a few more stone in order to finish Hayden's request. For day 63, I decided to go to the ocean to see if I can get any fish that only appears when it's raining. I didn't catch any new ocean fish, but I did catch this grayling that only appears when it's raining. It's a small river fish. The next day, I told Adeline that I already donated all the required items to improve Hayden's barn. So Reyes, Layden, and I worked on fixing the barn or upgrading the barn. By helping Hayden out, I can now adopt duck, horses, rabbits, and sheeps. But I would need to improve my barn and coop first to medium so we have more animal slots. For the rest of the day, I just chopped some wood to replenish what I lost from donating to Hayden. I also fished whenever I had a chance. The next day, I just cleaned out my farm. The next day, I went to Hayden's shop. I wanted to leave all my chickens in the daycare so I can destroy the small coop and make a medium one. It's pretty easy to remove the coop. You just click remove. And building one, you just place it down, place all the materials, and then click the build on the crafting table. And there we go, our medium coop. It is very big and it can store like about 8 animals. So I plan to adopt like 2 ducks and 2 rabbits. Get my 4 new animals. They're both male and female. In the future, we can breed them. The next day, I had a mail from Adeline to meet her at the inn. And the title of the mail is Upgrade the Inn. I took care of my farm first before heading to the inn. So upon arriving at the inn, we discussed with Josephine and Hemlock that Adeline wanted to upgrade the inn because it's one of the vital points of Mistria. And for the requirements, oh my god. I go to the mines again and get like a bunch of stones. I then spent the rest of the day looking for new fishes at the pond. I continued cleaning up my farm before having a good night's rest. For day 68, I decided to explore around and forage some goods. I still had a lot of artifacts that I haven't submitted to the museum yet. So this was a good time to just check if there are any good fishes or any good forageables. I had an unfortunate encounter with a giant fish because it got stuck and it never nibbled my bait. I had no choice but to give up on it. The next day was Saturday. That means a Saturday market. So I turned in most of my quests to the NPCs requesting it. I continued my journey gathering wood, also some forageable goods. I also made sure to check the pond, ocean, and the river if there were any rare fish. By rare fish, I mean the big ones. I finished about 7 quests and finally reached level 50. Currently the max level of early access. I got a mana potion for a reward. This will be pretty helpful in situations where we need that 1 mana orb. It seems like my new adopted animals are already grown up. They look really cute. I then went to the museum again and donated a bunch of artifacts. I completed the aquatic artifact set and the ancient artifact set. Only one more for the prehistoric artifact set. And for the rest of the day, I decided to spend it in the mines looking for both stone and silver ores. For day 71, I focus on fishing. I check out the ocean, the river, and the pond for any large fish. I just wanted to complete the museum for the summer fishes. Sadly, I didn't find any new fish that I could add to my museum. The next day was raining, so I focused on catching fish as well. There are fishes that only appear in the rain. I then donated all the new fish I caught and I finished the fall ocean fish set. As for the river fish, there's still 1 more left. The next day, I bought a lot of silver ingot from Baylor's wagon. With my immense wealth right now, I decided that I should try and craft an armor set that would have infused haste on them so I would move faster. So that's what I did. I crafted and crafted until I had the enchantment I wanted, which was movement speed. I honestly wasted so much gold doing this, but I really wanted the movement speed increase. It made me so happy each time I get one with a movement speed increase. And just look at how faster I run now compared to before. And this is only 2 parts, not even 5. I decided to continue making armor till I get the full set of increased movement speed. I'd get about half the money back by selling the armor. So at the very least, I can continue doing this until I was satisfied. Day 74 was another rainy day, so it was time to go fishing again. After fishing all the fishes at the pond, I continued making armors, and now I have an armor with 4% movement speed. Now that's 4 pieces. Sadly, I didn't have much luck with the helmet. So for now, I decided I should pay the mines a visit because I was running out of silver ores and Balor's wagon wasn't selling today. The next day, I donated a bunch of stuff to the inn, but I was still lacking in stone. Just a bit more and I should be done. So into the mines I go again in order to get the stones we needed. The next day, I did the usual, feeding my animal, watered my plants. I then checked out the river for any rare fishes and also the pond. I also don't forget to destroy all this grass right here because they're a great source of hay and grass seed for feeding my animals. I then bought more coffee from the Saturday market and then submitted to Adeline the items we have collected so far as well as the money. A lot of people gathered at the inn. Everyone has their respective jobs. Everyone just wanted to improve the inn that they like and stayed, especially Friday nights. And with everyone's hard work, we have upgraded the inn. The free food in the inn now gives about 40 energy back. Let's go. I then continued trying to craft a helmet with a good enchantment, but I never really gotten the movement speed buff on all the helmets I've crafted so far. I just gave up. I continued exploring the mines for more stones because I totally ran out. I also frequented the excavation site. So that's basically my daily life in Mistria right now. Today, I did the usual, trying my best to get all the fall fishes. But honestly, I had no luck. I keep getting the same fish over and over again, or a treasure chest. I honestly don't have any luck on fishes. I just wanted to get it over with so I can start finishing the museum for the mines. But I have to focus on the one that's not on the mines because it is season sensitive. Day 78, same as yesterday. I then checked out Baylor's wagon and he was selling silver ingot today. It was time to try my luck again. Sadly, out of all the helmet I made, nothing had 4% movement speed. I eventually gave up and thought that the HP enhancement isn't that bad. But I still prefer the movement speed though. The next day, I went to Hayden's again, put all my cows in the daycare, and I made myself an upgraded version of my barn. It is a medium barn and can hold about 8 animals inside. I then adopted 2 horses, a male and a female. One is called Bibi and the other one is called Yudson. I also adopted 2 sheep. The female is called Pepita and the male is called Pepito. I showed them some love first before I resumed my activity for the day. And oh my god, I thought this was just a decoration, but the animals actually play on the swing. Look at how cute this is. And so I was back on the grind for the fishes. Honestly, not really sure if I can catch the fish I need. I eventually succumbed to searching it online where to catch certain fish because I just really want to complete my fishing set. I was just lacking one more pond fish, and upon searching online, it seems it only appears on rainy days. So that solves the problem of mindlessly just going to the pond and trying to fish. I was also missing one more of the river fish. For this fish, it's just a rare medium-sized fish, so I just need to try to capture a medium-sized one and eventually I will get it. On day 80, I finally collected about 100 beads, so I gave it to the chicken statue and it gave me 10 pieces of this ultimate small animal feed. Collecting those shiny beads for a few days and I'm not even sure if it was worth it. I then harvested all my crops that had already matured. I kinda regret having too many rice or wheat because they don't really drop anything like food. because there's no recipe that needed raw rice or raw wheat. You need to process them first. So in short, my perk doesn't activate on rice and wheat. Since my days were numbered, I decided to fish for that missing river fish I needed. Totally forgot, but these flowers can't be foraged. Like the other few seasons, I could just get the flowers somewhere. But I decided to just buy them and use my growth skill in order to submit them to the museum. I finally was able to use that mana potion I was given, and with my power, I mean magic. Here we go, we got the harvest. This was worth the magic because I don't really have any more days to grow these. Only 4 more days and it'll be winter. I then decorated my farm by placing a road towards the left side of the map. But the problem on this was it required some of the spiky monster back item thingy. So I can't really mass produce this thing unless I farm the mines or something. But I do believe that Baylor's wagon sells the monster item. But I just need to wait till he does. Honestly, for the rest of the day, I just spent it tearing down the current design I had for my farm. Because I felt like it looked pretty bad. Like, bad. Anyhow, the next day it was raining. I needed to focus on the pond for that last remaining fish we need. So I grinded the heck of this place. And if you didn't know, you can actually reset the fishes in areas just by going in and out of the map. I realized that really late, and I could have had a really easy time finishing some of the museum sets if I knew that fact way earlier. And finally, with persistence, we got the bluefish, the last fish we need for the fall pond fish set. The next day, I also spent it on fishing. I just needed one more fish, a rare medium-sized fish. And by getting that fish, I would complete all the fish fall bundle sets. Pond, ocean, and river. So, this is the last fish, the razorback. Let's go! We're done! Time to submit all of these. I drank my coffee and zoomed my way to the museum. Just look how fast I run. I really love my armor set. I wish I can get the movement speed helmet. I got the fall river fish set, the fall pond fish set, and lastly, the fall flower set by using our growth spell on those flower seeds. So you can see my spring collection wasn't really great because I didn't really know how fishing worked at that time. Still needed to fish the mines too to complete it. I just need the upper mines and the tide caverns, which are floor 0 to 20 and floor 21 to 40. Day 83, the final harvest for fall, because I'm pretty sure these things won't be growing the next day. So it was now finally time to redecorate the farm. I actually hated the 1x1 area to move on my farm. I wanted to put like those square thingies so grass won't be growing in my farm. So this is the plan I had on mind. Just give spaces. If only I had more of these rock thingies, then this place would have looked really good. But I swear to God, I'm lacking in the resource to make this ornate flagstones. So to the mines I went. I needed to kill a lot of monsters because they're the only ones that drop those spiky back thingy that is needed to make the flagstone. My mining reached level 30, and with the abundance of essence I have, I just unlocked everything. The last day of fall, I still watered my plants because there was a chance that they would drop seeds. And if ever they drop seeds, it can be sold for 125 gold. So I didn't really hesitate in watering all my plants. Also, it gave me some essence. So it was a pretty good way of like farming essence for future if ever they extend the levels. And with the grind I did at the mines yesterday, I was able to make more of those flagstones. I had some extra just under my chest, so I took them for now so my garden would look decent, I guess. I then added some fences because I thought it would look good. I swear to God, I'm not really good at designing gardens or bases. And since I had some spare energy, I plowed the land for now to prepare it for winter. I then added 2 goddess statues so my garden would look like it has something in it. But doesn't that look nice? I just need like 2 more or something. I'm definitely gonna watch out for Balor to sell like things that I need to make more of this flagstone. because I just want to like make pathings in my farm so it doesn't grow grass on the pathings. Alright, the first day of winter. It was time to clear up all the dead plants I have. And on my way to the general store, I saw a fish just casually swimming in the river. So I decided to catch it to see what kind of new fish I can catch. And for this first catch, we have the herring. I also caught a freshwater eel. In winter, an item called an ice cube also spawns now. Also, these berries that look like they're like Christmas tree decoration. It's called the glowberry. And since there was only one tree available for winter, the pomegranate, so I just decided to buy 2 of them just to equal things out. As for the seed I'll be choosing, I'm gonna farm a lot of the snow pea seed. And for the other seed, I'm just gonna buy either 2 of each or just 1 of each just to donate to the museum and sell to the shipping bin once so that the people can give me some recipes for it. Went home and used my growth skill on my assorted goods or assorted seeds. Now I have something to donate to the museum. As for the other slots, I'm just gonna be using my snow peas on it. In the farm piece, we have snow peas. And with that out of the way, I just decided to clean the remaining area I haven't cleaned before. I then went to the museum and donated the first batch of new things I got in winter. There were a lot actually. I decided to frequent the excavation site now that we have like a few more days remaining and I still need a lot of artifacts before I complete my museum sets. With the winter, I got myself a snow grasshopper, I believe, and I finished the grass insect set. And for the rest of the day, I just continued fishing at my farm. The next day, it was snowing. I was puzzled why I couldn't water my plants. But snowing equivalents to raining. Okay, I'm pretty dumb. But anyways, yay, we don't need to water plants. So instead, I just took care of my other farming duties. And proceeded to do even more fishing. Because, you know, I want to finish all the fishing things for winter. So I fished for the entire day. Also looted a lot of forageable goods around the map. I got a lot of new fishes. And then went to the museum and donated a lot of my goodies that I've been looting so far. And I finished the winter flower set. For the crops, we only need the snow pea left. Still needed a lot regarding the fishes, but we'll complete it soon. It's my main priority right now. The next day was a normal day, so we need to water our crops. Afterwards, I went to the mine as I needed a lot of stones because I plan on decorating my farm soon enough. Also, another goal here is to get all the fish I need to complete the museum as well as some artifacts. The next day was another snowy day, so I went fishing again. And this time, I caught myself a large fish called the giant tilapia. I'm pretty happy each time I see those giant fish because they're kind of rare, I guess. They don't really spawn that much compared to the other size fish. At the very least, we got that out of the way. So, caught myself a flathead catfish right here. So, that's 2 out of 5 for our pond fish. At the river, I caught myself a bowfish, the final fish we needed for the river winter fish bundle. Also, if you notice, like the previous days that I could go to like School of Fishes and then fishes will pop out or random loot, it's because I have a perk that whenever I just swim to School of Fishes, I'd get some loot out of it instead of it disappearing. So we got 2 new fish for our pond bundle, so 1 more left. Next day, I went to the museum to clear up my inventory of these new items I've obtained, and we cleared the Winter River fish set. As you can see, we just need 1 more giant fish, and we will finish the winter pond set. For the rest of the day, I spent it on fishing at the ocean this time to finish my bundle. Got myself a sand lance, one of the fish I needed. And finally, I found a giant fish, and it's an oarfish, the last fish we need to complete the museum bundle. I then went to the museum and donated all the things I've gotten, and now we finished the winter ocean fish set. Let's go. The only thing left now was to get 1 more giant fish in the pond. I think it was an alligator. So I'll need to frequently reset this place in order to spawn that thing. Day 90 was the harvest day for our snow peas. It means I'm gonna be banking a lot of money from this. With money comes the ability to purchase 100 coffee so we have more movement speed. I also bought a bunch of decoration at Mary's stall. I wanted to decorate my farm even just a bit. At least it would look like decent, I guess. Then went to the carpenter shop to check how to upgrade my house. And I needed like 500 stone and wood plus 5k gold. That was fine. I just don't have stone right now. So I guess my next goal would be to go to the mines again and collect a bunch of stones. I also purchased a bunch of sod and peat. They're very useful in making furnitures. And for the rest of the day, I just spent it hunting a giant fish at the pond. Sadly, I didn't catch it, so I just returned home. I then placed the picnic set I bought from the merchant, and wow, picnic in the snow. Amazing. Anyways, since I had a bunch of peat right now, I could make things like this. At the very least, my path towards town won't be spawned with grass or trees. I just didn't have enough stone to make more. I also plan to expand my garden, so I added more floorings on this side and then slept. The next day, I made a bunch of salted snow peas. I needed some food rations for energy. I noticed that I've been lacking a lot of energy lately, especially when watering my plants. It would deplete all of my energy. And for the rest of the day, I dedicated it to fishing at the pond. I really just wanted to finish all the fishing things I needed to do. So I won't think about it again and just enjoy my day either at the mines or foraging in the area. I was very happy that I finally caught this thing, the alligator. Alligator gar. And we're done. We're done with our fishing thing for winter. And so I donated the alligator to the museum and we finished the winter pond set. So the only fishing we need to do now is the mines and spring, as well as the legendary fishes. I don't know where they are. And so since we finished our fishing at the pond, the ocean, and the river, it was now time to farm some stones and also finish our museum requirements at the mines. I then donated a single artifact I got at the mines and I completed the upper mines artifact set. And the only thing left now for the upper mines would be a giant fish, which I couldn't catch yet. So we'll be frequenting that place until I get that last fish. On day 92, I decided it was now time to clean the path to the left side of our farm. We now had some stones at the very least to put like a road that prevents grass and other stuff from growing. Sadly, I only had enough stone to make those, and that's it. Since I'm still lacking a lot of artifacts on the museum, I just decided to forage for the day. I'm not really sure if certain areas have certain artifacts, but I just decided to roam around, hoping that I would find one of those digging spots and get like an unidentified artifact. Afterwards, to the mines for the stones we need. Also, I totally forgot to bring my fishing rod. I was bringing my watering can. Last time, I said that the only thing left was a snow peas, right? And we have already harvested the snow peas on like an occasion. But I totally forgot and sold everything that I could not donate a single one to the museum. But this time, I'll donate one. Honestly, it'd be nice if there was a sickle in the game because clicking these one by one isn't really efficient. Anyways, I decided to put 2 lanterns on the entrance towards the town. Because why not, right? It looks nice, isn't it? I don't know. And for the rest of the day, you know it, to the mines again. I still had no luck with getting the fish I wanted today. But anyways, tomorrow is another day. I dropped by the museum first and donated the stuff I've been getting so far, and I finished the winter crop set. On day 94, I decided to roam around the map again to look for artifacts. Got lucky and found an unidentified artifact. I still wasn't done with the sunken sea artifact set as well, so I decided to go to the beach and look for diving spots. Also, there was an island in the ocean where there's always that one artifact spot, but I already have that dinosaur, so yeah. For day 95, I decided to just spend the entire day at the mines, looking for stone so I can continue making my pavements. Is that the right word? The flagstones. Also, I was still looking for that one singular fish that we were lacking in order to complete the set. And I was very happy to finally get it. Now we can leave this floor and go to a higher leveled floor, like maybe floor 20 to 40, because I'm still lacking a lot of things there as well. Since my inventory was full, I just went to the museum for now, donated my things, I finished the buried artifact set, and the upper mines fish set. These furnitures, the one you see just besides my carpenter stations, are all obtained from the mines. It looks pretty nice there. I plan to like have more of them actually. And since I still had some time for the day, I decided to go to the mill and made some flour. I just needed to cook some food that will give me energy because when my snow pea saute is gone, I would need something to eat. And I believe bread offers a lot of food that has like a lot of energy recharge. Also because I have a lot of wheat just staying in my storage, I should just sell it. Day 96 was harvest day, so more money for us. And for the day, I decided to roam around first, gathered all the artifacts I can, hoping that there would be something new before heading to the mines. And this time, I went to the area with iron and with tankier monsters. I'm still lacking a lot of things here. I lack like 2 fish, 3 artifacts, and also because I can get stones here.
Oh, bro, can't you just buy stone? You're so rich.
The problem is stone is like 20 gold each, and it will cost so much gold just to buy like 100. So 100 is like 2k gold. It's crazy. I think it's better that I just spend my time in the mines instead, getting some stones while I try to look and finish the museum. And I went to the museum, donated the 2 fish I caught, and I finished the Tide Caverns fish set. The next day, same as yesterday, just looking for some digging spots, and I got lucky again to get another unidentified artifact. Also, I already had like 554 stones, so I can now upgrade my home. So you just buy it and boom, I think it's already upgraded once we get back. So yeah, I continued digging some excavation sites.
Swimming in the ocean to look for sunken artifacts.
But damn, it was fish. Also, this was the house upgrade. The area or the space got increased by a lot, I guess. Maybe 1/2? Or no, 1/3? So I decorated a bit. Changed my bed, changed my wallpaper, added a table, a lighthouse because I don't know, this lighthouse looks cool, man. And then a chair. Alright, cool. Nice. The next day, artifact digging again. And yay, I got another new one. It was a weightless stone. Let's go. And afterwards, I spent the rest of the day at the mines. As usual, I just wanted to complete the museum. Afterwards, I donated a bunch of, or 2 artifacts to the museum, and I finished the Tide Cavern artifact set. The next day, since I had a lot of stones from grinding at the mines now, I finished off my path to the left side of the farm. But yeah, it was still lacking, but at the very least, right, we have a path now. I should honestly consider moving my farm down so it doesn't collide with the path. And for the rest of the day, as usual, I just foraged a lot of goodies outside and went to the mines afterward. This time on floor 50 and above. I finished all from floor 40 and below regarding museum things that we need. So yeah, only the late game areas left now. I don't really like farming stone here as everything is harder. Like I need like 3 hits, I believe, or 2 hits before the rocks break, compared to like floor 1 where you only need to hit it once. And finally, we have day 100. Finally crafted that dragon statue I've always wanted to craft. So now everything is even out left and right on my farm. And then went to the museum and checked everything. So far, the only fish that's missing is the spring fishes. As for the legendary fish, I realized that you can't really catch legendary fishes not until you reach like level 30 in fishing, which I didn't yet. I think I'm just 25 right now. For the insects, I'm missing 1 of the spring insect, 1 of the winter insect, a lot of the rare insects, and 1 more of the beach insects, but I have nothing of the legendary insects. The flowers, 98%, because I can't seem to find this 1 item in the winter forage set. Just 1 more item missing. I can't find it. I don't know where. And for the artifacts, I'm just around 80%. There's still a lot of artifacts I haven't found yet. Just 1 more artifact in the deep earth, and I'm done with that mines, I believe. So after getting this last piece, I probably will just continue foraging around Mistria in search for the other stuff. For my skills, I maxed everything except for combat and fishing. Fishing, 24. It's pretty hard to level up, I swear, unless I focus on fishing. For combat, since we're near 30, I'm pretty curious what skills I get. Decided to grind in the mines for now, just to, reach max level. And after grinding in the mines and reaching level 30, let me show you the perks. So we have a perfect prefix here. It doubles the effects of the infused weapon. Another one would be rocking. You know how I deflect like rock bullets from enemies? It now hits in crit. We have things like in motion that gives speed boost after killing monsters, and out of justice, the lanterns, the annoying electric lanterns will now freeze. Well, even though I maxed my combat already, I still continued grinding at the caves since I was still missing that one singular artifact. So yeah, that's about it for my 100 days in Fields of Mistria. Thank you guys for watching. Hope you enjoyed your stay. Also, don't forget to click that like and subscribe button. Alright, bye guys. Thank you.